So, good morning, students. Today we are once again back to our class. The poem by David Roth, Nine Gold Medals. This is one of the special poems written to show how humanity plays importance in oneness and how compassionate love turns out to be something very unique in this Olympic game. So this poem is speaking about a Special Olympics. It's an international organization created to help people with intellectual disabilities to develop self-confidence, social skills, and a sense of personal accomplishment. Among their other activities, like Special Olympics conducts the Special Olympics World Games every 2 years, alternating between summer and winter games. And here in the Special Olympics, it offers children and adults with intellectual disabilities year-round training and competition in 30 Olympic types summer and winter sports. And these games are also held as national events in some countries. And Special Olympics International was founded by Mrs. Eunice Shriver, sister of late President John F. Kennedy of USA. Special Olympics Bharat, the national program based in Delhi, is accredited by Special Olympics International. It is recognized by Government of India, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports as National Sports Federation for Development of Sports for the Mentally Disabled. And in this poem, David Roth, the writer, he is an American rock vocalist, songwriter, actor, author, and radio personality. He is the lead singer of the famous hard rock band Van Halen, and is also a successful soloist. And here, this 9 gold medal is a poignant record of an incident that takes place at the Special Olympics when differently abled contestants set off for a race. Soon after the race begins, what happens? One of the contestants has a sharp fall and lies on the tracks crying out in pain, losing all hope of ever winning the medal for which he had trained so hard. And the poem is all about what happens with these children and how they overcome the difficulty. So we go through it, and sports is not only about winning medals, children. They are also about learning the values of cooperation, sharing, competing, and complementing. And here in this poem, 9 gold medals, the poet David Roth has presented the idea of empathy and how human values are as important as the spirit of competition. So he gives more importance to human values like compassion, empathy, cooperation. These are the things you will find in this poem. It presents the situation of a race where the contestants leave aside their desire to win the medal to help a smaller and weaker contestant. And they all go hand in hand to the finishing line. Now, without wasting much of time, we read the poem. Have you all got the text with you? Take page number 37. Have you got it with you, children? Yes. Now we begin. The first stanza. The athletes had come from so many countries, which shows it is international athletic event. Okay. To run for the gold, for the silver and bronze. What does it mean? To run for the gold and silver and bronze. These are the medals that shows about the victory of the contestants, winning of the contestants. Many weeks and months in training, all building up to the game. So towards gaining the game, they have made themselves, they have disciplined themselves, they have trained themselves, and at last they have come for the athletic competitions from many different countries, and there is going to be an international athletic event for which the contestants have come from far and wide from different countries to participate. So you must have heard the term Olympics, isn't it? Already you know what is Olympics. Olympics are held once every 4 years. Hope you are aware about it. Athletes from all over the world train hard to participate in this event. Winning a medal in the Olympics is the ultimate goal of every athlete of the world. And however, the setting or the scene of this poem is that of a Special Olympics, as I already mentioned to you. In these Olympics, differently abled persons who have some problems in a particular part of the body to participate in various sports events. Say how come? Okay. The contestants put in a lot of preparation and practice. The lines here are all building up to the game, many weeks and months in training. So they have all trained well. Everyone hopes to win a medal, either gold or silver and bronze. Now, in the second line, you see, all round the field, spectators were gathered, cheering on all the young women and men. Who is these all young women and men? The contestants. All round the field, spectators, the audience, have gathered there to encourage the contestant, and they cheer up the contestants. Then the final event of the day was approaching, the last race about to begin. Now, here in this last lines of the second stanza, it is saying it is all ready for the final event of the Special Olympics. Now, in the next one, we have the loudspeakers called out the names of the runners, the 100 meters, the race to be run. So, what is the program going to be? 100 meters, 100 meters race. And in the loudspeaker, the contestants' names were already announced. And 9 young athletes stood there, determined and poised for the sound of the gun. So, 9 contestants are ready just to get start for their 100 meter race. Poised means they balanced with the full concentration, with the just when the gun sound is heard, they would start their race. The signal was given, the pistol exploded. Okay, already they got the signal to start the game. And so did the runners on hearing the sound, but the youngest among them stumbled and staggered, and he fell on his knees to the ground. Now what happened all on a sudden? What happened to them? The 100 meter race is the most prestigious one, and the athletes were ready. What happened? The youngest one staggered and fell down. He gave out a cry of frustration and anguish. Anguish means agony, frustration. He was so distressed with all that disappointment. He gave out a cry. His dreams and his efforts dashed in the dirt. Dashed in the dirt. You see the use of alliteration here. Above lines also, stumbled and staggered. Again, you have the use of alliteration. Okay. He gave out a cry of frustration and anguish. His dreams and his efforts dashed in the dirt. Dreams dashed in dirt. Mark it is for alliteration. So, he knew all his efforts towards winning the game is shattered. But as sure as I am standing here telling the story, now it's a strange one, but here's what occurred. Now, the one who is speaking about, the narrator, he says, as sure as I am standing here. He is also one among the audience telling the story. Now, it's a strange one. It's for you, it's a strange one. But here, what occurred? Now, what occurred there? The 8 other athletes stopped in their tracks, the ones he had trained for so long to compete. One by one, they turned round and came back to help him and lifted the lad to his feet. So, here is the climax of the poem. One by one turned round and came back to help him. What happened, children? See, you notice how 8 contestants are strong and run forward, while the ninth, who is the smallest, falls down. He cries out with the pain of disappointment. And he too was trained hard but does not get the opportunity to show his talent. Now, instead of leaving the weakest one and running ahead, all other 8 of them turned and went to help. The unexpected thing happened, isn't it? Something unexpected happened at the beginning of the race. When the remaining 8 contestants saw him fall, they, instead of continuing the race, came to help their fellow contestant. All the athletes had dreamt of winning the medal. However, they readily forgot their dreams and aspirations and came forward to help the boy to his feet. Then all the 9 contestants walked in hand. See the next lines. Then all 9 runners joined hands and continued. The 100 meters reduced to walk, and the banner above that said Special Olympics could not have been nearer the mark. Now what happened? All the 9 contestants walked hand in hand to the finish line. And the audience was so moved by the exemplary behavior of the contestants that it stood up and clapped, and there were now 9 winners instead of 1, and each was given a gold medal. Now read the line. The next climax, that's how the race ended with 9 gold medals. They came to the finish line holding hands still, and the banner above and 9 smiling faces said more than these words ever will. Said more than ever words ever will. Why he repeated, it will never happen with the intellectual, but only with these special difficulties, people with special difficulties. All the contestants displayed empathy, turning the Special Olympics into a really special one. Children, have you ever heard the word empathy? Empathy is the capacity to understand another person's experience from his point of view. Simply stating, empathy is the ability to put oneself in others' shoes. That is exactly what these 8 contestants had done in this Special Olympic game. Everyone looked at the fallen contestant, and they all of them forced them to think, what would I have felt if I had fallen? And they knew exactly what they had to do. By awarding gold medals to all 9 contestants, the authorities honored their display of empathy, helpful nature, and the human values. And this is the beauty of this poem, which is all about speaking how you need to grow human values in your life. So a beautiful poem, very simple, and so you need to, just once reading itself you would understand. At the same time, you should like we have the use of alliteration, where we have the smallest among them had stumbled and staggered. Yes, okay. And we have, again I said, the next stanza we have dreams dashed in the dirt. Okay, so these are some of the things you have to keep in mind. And then just to go through the poem once again, very easy, very simple. Write your question answers, read the explanations from the workbook, and there we end your literature paper. All the